Under the vast Bodhi tree, Buddha's gaze swept across his disciples, each immersed in the tranquil rhythm of silence. His voice, calm yet profound, carried a weight that seemed to ripple through the gathered crowd. Life's certainties are but fleeting shadows, painting promises that dissolve like morning mist, he began. The disciples, bound by their curiosities, leaned closer, seeking wisdom within his measured words. Relying on the comforts of wealth is like planting a tree with shallow roots in unstable soil. Buddha continued. A hesitant murmur arose as the disciples exchanged questioning glances, their thoughts tethered to worldly securities. Ananda, seated nearest the Buddha, ventured a cautious query. Master, if wealth cannot sustain us, where lies the refuge for our futures? Buddha smiled softly, his gaze unwavering. True refuge is not found in the accumulation of wealth but in the serenity of mindful awareness. He responded. His hands gestured gracefully as he painted an allegory with words. Consider a man who toils tirelessly to fill jars with water from a leaking well, he began. Though he gathers much, the water slips away, leaving him with emptiness and despair. The disciples listened intently, their breaths synchronized with the stillness of the grove. This man, consumed by his task, does not notice the fresh spring flowing freely nearby, Buddha said. So blinded by his need for control, he misses the abundance offered by the present. His words sparked a deep reflection, the grove resonating with a profound stillness as minds turned inward. Ananda's voice broke the quiet with a thoughtful observation. Master, does this mean preparation is folly and only the present moment holds truth? Buddha chuckled lightly, his tone brimming with compassion. Preparation holds value when balanced with wisdom, not when fettered by fear of the unknown, he replied. His hands rested on his lap as he began to narrate another tale. There was once a wealthy merchant, hailed as the savior of his village for his boundless wealth, he began. This merchant built enormous granaries and stored fortunes, seeking to shield himself from unforeseen hardships. The disciples, captivated by the unfolding story, leaned further forward, their attention unwavering. One night, a great flood swept the land, and the merchant's wealth vanished in the fury of the waters, Buddha narrated. Reduced to nothing, the merchant was forced to live humbly, tending to the simple needs of daily life. A pause followed, heavy with the gravity of the story's moral. Ironically, it was this humility that brought him the joy and peace his riches could not, Buddha concluded. The grove fell silent again, save for the occasional rustling of leaves in the gentle breeze. Buddha's words resonated with an undeniable truth, stirring an awakening among his disciples. Attachment to fleeting securities blinds us to the profound richness of what lies in the present. Buddha said, true wealth is found in the liberation from fear and the joy of understanding. Impermanence. Ananda's brow furrowed as he contemplated the teachings shared by his master. How can one practice detachment in a world where survival demands reliance on material means? He asked earnestly. Buddha's eyes softened as he looked upon his devoted disciple. The practice of detachment is not to renounce life but to embrace it without undue dependence, he explained. Live with gratitude for what you have, but do not let it define your happiness or identity. The weight of Buddha's response settled over the disciples like a gentle rain, soaking them in contemplative wisdom. Imagine a traveler carrying a lantern as he traverses a dark path, Buddha continued. The lantern illuminates his way, but he knows it cannot control the terrain ahead. His words, like seeds, began to sprout understanding within the hearts of those present. In the same way, material possessions are tools for our journey but must not be mistaken for the journey itself. 1. Disciple, Yashodhara, raised her hand with quiet determination. Master, if one truly embraces this teaching, How does it alter their path in life? She inquired. Buddha's lips curved into a serene smile, his gaze reflecting boundless compassion. To embrace this teaching is to walk the middle path, free from extremes of indulgence and deprivation, he explained. It allows one to engage with the world fully, while remaining unattached to its fleeting pleasures and pains. The grove seemed to pulse with the collective understanding that blossomed among the disciples. Buddha's voice, gentle yet resolute, carried a new parable to illuminate his teachings further. In a distant land, there lived a farmer who diligently tended his crops, ensuring a fruitful harvest each season. He began. The farmer's joy stemmed not from the quantity of his yield, but from the care he invested in his work. The disciples exchanged thoughtful glances, each internalizing the lesson woven into the parable's fabric. One season, a storm devastated the fields, and the farmer faced scarcity unlike ever before. Buddha continued. Yet he remained undeterred, finding solace in his understanding that the cycle of seasons governs all life. His words hung in the air, rich with the depth of their significance. This farmer found peace not in what he gained or lost, but in his unshaken spirit amidst life's impermanence. Buddha concluded. The murmurs of nature seemed to echo the harmony of Buddha's teachings, enveloping the grove in a profound serenity. Ananda's voice, soft yet filled with conviction, emerged once more. Master, your words guide us to a life free of despair, rooted in the truth of the present moment. Buddha's eyes, twinkling with wisdom, met his disciples' gaze as he spoke. May this understanding lead you to walk the path of mindfulness and live without the burdens of fear or attachment, he replied. The disciples sat in tranquil reflection, their hearts and minds reshaped by the teachings shared beneath the Bodhi tree. As the sun began its descent, painting the sky with hues of gold and crimson, the grove brimmed with an unspoken promise. It was a promise carried within each disciple, a commitment to embody the truths imparted by their master. Buddha's voice, now a tender whisper, delivered his final words of the day. Live each moment with awareness, for it is within the present that life's true wealth is discovered, he said. The gathering dispersed, but the teachings lingered, etching themselves into the essence of each heart. Buddha remained seated, a beacon of serenity amid the deepening twilight, his aura emanating a quiet strength. The grove, now adorned by the gentle caress of dusk, bore witness to the timeless wisdom that had unfolded beneath its canopy. And thus, the episode concluded, leaving behind an eternal echo of truth and a legacy of mindful living. Another day. Under the vast expanse of the sky, Buddha and his disciples embarked on a serene countryside journey. The tranquil path led them to a small village, where a farmer waited, his face etched with worry. Oh, Blessed One, I have toiled my whole life, yet my fields yield less with each passing year, he lamented. Buddha's serene gaze rested upon the farmer as he extended a compassionate hand. Your concerns are valid, yet your despair stems from misunderstanding the cycles of life, Buddha replied. The disciples gathered closer, drawn to the conversation unfolding between their teacher and the troubled farmer. Buddha knelt beside the farmer, his presence exuding tranquility as he traced a circle in the earth. Life's essence is like a wheel, ever turning, never pausing, he began, his voice calm yet profound. Those who seek permanence within life's cycles will find only frustration and suffering, he continued. A disciple named Kassapa, intrigued by the metaphor, asked, Master, how can one prepare if life's cycles are so unpredictable? Buddha's eyes softened as he responded. Preparation must stem from adaptability, not rigid plans bound by fear of change. His voice carried the weight of timeless wisdom as he shared a parable to illuminate his point. In a distant valley lived a craftsman who built tools with utmost precision and care. He started However, the craftsman lamented when his tools wore out. Longing for their eternal durability, Buddha narrated. One day, a wise traveler taught him to create tools adaptable to varying tasks and times. He continued. The craftsman discovered joy not in clinging to permanence but in the skill of adapting to change. He concluded. The farmer and disciples sat silently, absorbing the profound message woven into the story's fabric. Rigid plans are like brittle branches that snap under the weight of a storm, Buddha explained. Flexibility, however, is like bamboo, swaying with the winds, yet standing firm in its roots, he added. Yashodhara, another disciple, raised a thoughtful question. Master, how can one cultivate such flexibility in the face of life's relentless uncertainties? She inquired earnestly. Buddha's gaze carried the warmth of compassion as he responded. Flexibility arises from understanding that change is the nature of existence, not an obstacle to be feared, Buddha said. His words resonated like a gentle wave, calming the restless minds of his listeners. Just as rivers carve their path through mountains, so must we flow with life's ever-changing currents, he elaborated. The disciples nodded in unison, their hearts embracing the teachings that illuminated their master's profound understanding. Buddha then turned his attention back to the farmer, who listened with rapt attention. Your crops may dwindle, but the seeds of resilience you plant within yourself shall yield endless abundance, Buddha counseled. Do not place your faith solely in what the earth provides but in the strength of your spirit, he added. His words seemed to lift the weight from the farmer's shoulders as a newfound hope kindled within his weary heart. Master, how can I nurture this resilience within myself? The farmer asked, his voice tinged with humility. Buddha's response carried a deep wisdom that resonated through the quiet village. Resilience grows through mindfulness, the practice of living in harmony with the present moment, he explained. When you accept the impermanence of all things, you free yourself from the burden of fear and attachment, Buddha added. His disciples listened intently, their hearts stirred by the profound simplicity of his teachings. The farmer, too, found solace in the clarity of the message imparted to him. The gentle rustling of leaves accompanied the stillness of the moment, as nature seemed to embrace the truths shared within its midst. Buddha continued, his words flowing like a gentle stream, carrying wisdom to nourish the souls of those present. Imagine a lotus that blooms upon the water, its roots firmly anchored in the ever-shifting depths, he began. The lotus thrives not by resisting the water's motion but by embracing its constant ebb and flow. He concluded. The disciples exchanged contemplative glances, their minds weaving connections between the metaphor and their own lives. Buddha then addressed the farmer once more, his gaze filled with unwavering compassion. You, too, must anchor your spirit in the understanding of impermanence while thriving amidst life's endless transformations, Buddha said. The farmer bowed deeply, his heart brimming with gratitude for the wisdom bestowed upon him. The sun began its descent, casting a golden glow over the village as the teachings concluded. The disciples and the farmer sat in silent reflection, their minds and hearts touched by the profound truths shared. The journey continued, yet the lessons imparted on this day would remain etched within their souls forever. Buddha's words, like seeds, had been sown within their hearts, promising to bloom into understanding and resilience in the days to come. Another day, under the luminous full moon, Buddha's disciples gathered in the forest, seeking guidance for their restless minds. A gentle breeze rustled the leaves, carrying with it a sense of calm and anticipation. Buddha's serene presence radiated peace as his disciples sat in quiet expectation. Master, what is the greatest teaching for those who fear the uncertainties of life? Ananda asked sincerely. Buddha's gaze fell upon him, filled with infinite compassion and wisdom. The greatest teaching is simple yet profound: let go. Buddha began, his voice steady yet gentle. His disciples exchanged curious glances, intrigued by his seemingly paradoxical words. To let go is not to lose but to gain, Buddha continued, his gaze unwavering. A disciple named Rahula hesitantly asked, Master, how can releasing attachment lead to fulfillment when it feels like losing everything? Buddha's smile held an unspoken understanding. Imagine a man clinging to a burning log. Fearing the depths of the river below, Buddha said, his tone calm, though he clings tightly, the flames burn his hands, causing agony and despair. He elaborated, when he releases the log, he discovers the river's cool embrace, saving him from suffering. Buddha explained. His disciples listened intently, their thoughts weaving through the vivid metaphor. Letting go is an act of courage, trusting the flow of life over the weight of attachment, Buddha emphasized. The disciples nodded, their expressions reflecting a deepening understanding of the lesson imparted. Consider a queen who relinquished her throne to live as a commoner. Free from the confines of palace walls, Buddha narrated. His story resonated among the disciples, each word imbued with profound meaning. In her humility, the queen discovered the vastness of the world and her place within it. Buddha continued, freedom does not stem from possession or status, but from liberation of the heart and mind. He concluded. The disciples sat in reflective silence, their hearts stirred by the wisdom woven into the tale. Yashodhara, filled with curiosity, posed a thoughtful question, Master, how can one truly embrace this liberation without fear of the unknown? Buddha's gaze softened as he addressed her earnest query. Fear arises from the illusion of control over impermanent things, he replied with gentle conviction. The unknown is not to be feared but embraced as a source of infinite possibilities, Buddha explained further. His disciples sat entranced, each absorbing the depth of his teachings in their own unique way. Imagine a bird that soars freely, unburdened by the weight of attachments to the ground below. Buddha began anew. The bird's liberation lies not in escaping the earth, but in its trust in the open skies, he added. His words resonated deeply, stirring a sense of inspiration within the hearts of his disciples. Ananda, seeking clarity, asked, Master, how does one learn to trust the unknown when it feels so uncertain? Buddha's response carried a timeless truth, anchoring the minds of those present. Trust arises from understanding that life's essence lies in its impermanence, not its permanence, he said. To trust is to surrender to the ebb and flow of existence with mindful awareness, Buddha elaborated. The disciples exchanged thoughtful glances, their hearts beginning to embrace the essence of his teachings. The lotus blooms in the waters, its roots anchored in the ever-shifting depths of the lake, Buddha began. Its strength lies not in resisting the water's motion but in thriving amidst its constant changes, he continued. The grove seemed to breathe with the rhythm of his words, filling the air with a profound sense of serenity. Buddha's voice carried the weight of wisdom as he addressed his disciples once more. Let go of what binds you, and you will find the unshakable truth within your own being, Buddha concluded. The disciples sat in quiet reflection, their minds resonating with the truths imparted by their master. The moon cast its luminous glow over the grove, illuminating the timeless wisdom shared within its embrace. As dawn broke, the teachings lingered within the hearts of those present, guiding their paths forward with newfound clarity. Buddha's words, like a gentle stream, continued to nourish the souls of his disciples. The episode concluded, leaving behind a legacy of liberation and trust in the face of life's uncertainties. Master, I asked, how do we transform fear into hope? Buddha smiled gently, his gaze unwavering. By shifting our focus from what we cannot control to what we can. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.